Okay, I assume we're streaming now. Of course, I've got the ads playing uh, on my screen. Feel weird about not clicking out of those when it's my ads. So I'm going to just click on this, let the first one play. And supposedly there's two others. But they're my ads, so it's my money I'm losing. So you know what? I'm just going to let those play. I thought, no, I'd just get rid of the other two. No, I think I'll let them play. And I'm going to click on this one. Okay. Why the hell not? I'm entitled. Looks like you can hear me in the chat. Okay, cool. So how's everybody doing tonight? We are talking about Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 6. For the record, the episode only been uploaded to the live streaming channel. There was a delay on those because YouTube wasn't letting me download the stream for Episode 4. I don't know why. So it was a while trying to get that to work, but it finally worked. They're finally uploaded. If you want to watch those again or watch them for the first time, they're on the live streaming channel right now. Hopefully there won't be any more delays with those. And it's 3 a.m. where you are. I'm sorry. Sorry to keep you up. Okay, here we go. The ads are done. Let me just move this over here. Go away. All right. So what did you guys think about this one? I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on this one because I have... I don't know, I've seen people heaping a lot of praise on this episode. I have a slightly different take. I'd like to hear what you guys think. So get your super chats in if you're so inclined. And anyone who does throw a super chat out there, excuse me, will get the first priority when we do questions at the end. So let's talk about this. Season 2, Episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again. How are we almost at the end of the season already? Man, that went by fast. So last time, I said that I thought Episode 5 was some of the best work they've done since Born Again started. And if they could keep the quality at that level, or ideally higher, then they were going to end this season really strong. End it with a bang. And I don't think that's happening. Not right now. I like a lot of things in it. Loved seeing Jessica Jones back. Her and Matt had a fun sequence together. Matt and Karen had some great scenes. Matt and Kingpin too. But towards the end, there were a bunch of things started happening that had me wondering, how did we get here? Like, how did the events of the previous 2 episodes lead to this? It really didn't make sense to me. The mayor's wife. And a whole bunch of task force goons, like a lot of them. Which you'd think would generate sympathy for the mayor and legitimize the task force as a necessary presence in the city. But instead, the opposite happens. Suddenly, the entire city is turning on the Kingpin. Well, not the entire city, but a big chunk of them. Like, there's an angry mob outside City Hall that hates his guts, and I don't know how we got from point A to point B there. It's very strange. Anyway, there's 2 episodes left in the season. So things are ramping up for the finale. Storylines are reaching their climax. It's getting to be that time where we find out if these stories have been worth our attention. And I think it's a mixed bag. Like this Daniel Beebe story, okay? At the suggestion of Buck, Daniel feeds Beebe some fake info about Mayor Kingpin, so if it gets out, then he knows for sure who the leaker is. And he's already pretty sure that it's been Beebe this whole time. But they're friends, so he's trying to give her an off-ramp. He's trying to give her every opportunity to just prove it's not her, so I've got some plausible deniability here. I can just move on and maybe pretend I'm investigating someone else. Just give me something. Give me anything. He makes her swear up and down that she won't say anything. And if it gets out, he knows for sure that she's the leaker. So she, puts it in her phone. She almost leaks it. But then she starts to feel bad because she has been using Daniel for info, and, in spite of everything else, they are friends. So she deletes it. She doesn't post it. But it's too late. He finds a thing in her jacket that proves that she's the leaker. And that's a problem, because he may not be able to protect her from Buck Cashman now. Okay. So this puts BB in danger. Possibly Daniel, too, if he decides to help her. Because if he tries to protect her, then Buck may end up needing to eliminate him, too. And Daniel has been acting conflicted about this for a little bit, so we don't know how that's going to shake out. But now that we've arrived at this point in the story, I don't know if I really care. They kind of had me in the previous episode, but now it's like... I don't know. I mean, they've done a pretty good job of making Daniel a little bit more sympathetic in the last few episodes, even though he just finished burying a dead body, weirdly enough. And BB has a purpose filling the Ben Urich role, I guess. I don't dislike either of them, but if they both went away, I don't think I'd lose sleep over it. At the end of the day, are either of these characters really necessary? Okay, BB is our Ben Urich. Has she really done anything? If she does those little BB report segments, okay. If you take those out, does anything really change? Not really. I mean, there's been a fair amount of time devoted to these two this season, and I'm still not convinced that it wouldn't have been better time on something else, spent on something else. I mean, when we're focusing on the core Daredevil characters, the story hums. When it's on others, it's hit and miss. I mean, they've still got time to get me invested, but at this point, this is the point where I should be really feeling the urgency, and I'm not. Also, there's this story with therapist lady, Heather. All right. Vanessa getting killed by a vigilante seems to have really exacerbated whatever issues that she hasn't been dealing with. And there's an interesting scene where she kind of talks about these issues a little bit with Buck. Muse was a patient, came to her for help, then he tried to kill her, but she had to kill him in self-defense. So there's a little bit of guilt in there mixed up with all the PTSD that she's feeling and whatever else. And she kind of releases these pent-up feelings by strangling Buck, the same way Muse almost strangled her. Buck lets her do it. And I'll give him this. The actress is doing a really good job. I'm intrigued by this story, but I have no fucking clue where it's going. Like, what is this story? What's the purpose of it? What's the aim here? What are we trying to accomplish? It's all a mystery. Like, this vigilante stuff is making Heather slowly lose her marbles, and she's having some kind of psychological breakdown, obviously. But what's the purpose? What are they positioning Heather for? They're getting me on board with the story, but I don't know why the story exists. I feel like I should have some idea by now. Is what I would have said. It's what I would have said. It's what I wrote in my notes here. But now behind the scene photos from the season 3 set are surfacing online, showing where the story is going. And I won't spoil it for anyone here, but that's another case where I'm really not sure how these dots connect. Like, I don't know how we got from there to there. Almost gets killed by Muse. Then in season 3, that happens. Like, what? I mean, clearly this woman needs help. Should be talking to someone, but I don't know. I don't know how they justify that. To be continued. Let's get to the good stuff, okay? Jessica Jones finally shows up. Finally, with 3 episodes left in the season, including this one. They made us wait for that one. She gets a pretty cool reintroduction. There's a funny scene where like some government goons show up at her house and the camera stays inside with the kid while she's beating them to shit outside. Not one of them gets in there. But yeah, Jessica and Luke's daughter, Danielle, from the comics is a thing now. I don't know if I like that. Like, they skipped several steps from where, we last left off with this character. Granted, the comics rushed through that too. Because I think that was like in the original run of the Jessica Jones comics where they introduced the character. Like, her and Luke hooked up once or twice, and then just like that, she got pregnant. So, they definitely jarring. With this being the first time we've seen Jessica in so long. I do like seeing Jessica in a better place emotionally now, though. That's nice. She's not so self-destructive. She's a little bit more, excuse me, a little bit more amiable, a little bit more friendly. It's nice. So her and Matt meet up as Matt's keeping watch on the weapons from Red Hook getting moved into a new warehouse. And this scene is weird because it's not at night. It's the middle of the day, and they're just standing there on a rooftop across the street. Not hiding, not trying to conceal themselves. They're just, I think they're out in the open. Like, how did the bad guys not see them there? I don't know. That was awkward. But then we get a really cool fight scene. That the two of them go down there, they start fucking shit up, and this I really liked. Like, they're working together, doing, like, tandem stuff. Like, there's one part where Jessica kicks an explosive something or other across the room, and Matt swings across and pulls a guy out of the way so he doesn't get blown up. This fight is a lot of fun. And what's so good about it is that for once Jessica is fighting like someone who has super strength. This was something her Netflix series was really bad about, and it was a constant complaint I had. Her powers were so inconsistent in that show. Sometimes she had super strength, sometimes she didn't. In one scene, she's strong enough to lift a car. In another scene, she's getting knocked out by a normal girl with a 2x4. Don't get me started. Jessica's powers were whatever the writers needed them to be for a scene to work. There was no consistency there, and it always bugged me. But here, Jessica's breaking through walls like the Kool-Aid Man, ripping metal containers apart, throwing bodies around. She's actually fighting like somebody who is the strongest person in the room. Thank you. And her strength does, disappear at one point, but they explain that. Something happened to her since she had the kid, and now her strength dips in and out. And she doesn't know why. So her powers are wonky, but they acknowledge that because there's a story there. In the Netflix series, her powers being wonky was just because the writers got lazy. So they're actually doing something with it now. I like this. Jessica Jones had a good showing here. Thumbs up on that. There were some terrific scenes with Matt and Karen. Okay, Matt brought Bullseye back to the hideout and they got him patched up. And this is what makes Karen really blow up. Like, this has been simmering for a little while now, but, like, it's finally boiling over. Like, she's starting to think that this war with Matt and the Kingpin only ends with one or both of them getting killed. And Matt refusing to let anyone, even their enemies, die is only making it worse. Like, she still has nightmares about killing Wesley back in the Netflix show, so she hates it, but she's beginning to think that it could be a necessary evil to finally end this. Like, if we kill our enemies, then they can't hurt anyone else. They can't hurt us. Maybe that's just what it takes. So you can see why Karen thinks this way, because Matt's morality is admirable, but it does tend to cause him a lot of problems. Deborah Ann Wall looks weirdly at peace when she puts the gun to his head. Like, this is what he wants. Bullseye's been so good this season. But Matt stops her, throws the nightstick, knocks the gun out of her hands. She gets so pissed at him. But it's really just out of frustration and fear. Like, what if Matt not going the ends justify the means route ends up getting him killed? That's what terrifies Karen about this. She thinks that maybe killing their enemies has become the lesser of two evils, but Matt won't let her do it. And she reads this as Matt choosing his enemies over the people who love him. She reads it as not killing their enemies is just going to lead to more people getting killed in the future, and she's probably not wrong about that. So, why are we being so moral about this? It's a good question. Also, she found out that haven't reported in, so they've all likely been killed. So that's contributing to this as well. It's a great scene. Excuse me. Jenny Norwood, 6686, thank you for the super chat. You'll be first in line. Really great scene. It's emotional, it's messy, it ends badly, nothing is resolved. And I just noticed that I'm like off center here. Sorry. The pressure, this was all building up for a while. The pressure mounting, Kingpin turning up the heat, Matt refusing to kill, just making it more complicated. Something was going to give eventually. And it looks like it was Karen. Which is a really compelling place to leave these two with what happens to Karen next. He's going through a lot this week. He's very quiet. He's emotionally broken as he's mourning Vanessa and the city is turning on him. But there's also this seething cauldron of rage bubbling up right beneath the surface. So for the whole episode, he seems like he's torn between wanting to just give up and walk away and just burning the... So when Daredevil comes to see him, he's contemplating this. And Matt's thinking that Karen did kind of have a point. In this war between him and Fisk, nobody wins. There's only losers here. So he asks Kingpin, what if they just both walk away before things get worse? They both leave New York and they just let that be it. Kingpin, like he seems to consider it for a minute. But his rage wins out because he doesn't have anything left except this. So they fight again. I don't know how D'Onofrio is so good at these fight scenes. The man is 66 years old and he is more terrifying than fucking Thanos. Daredevil and Kingpin don't come to blows very often, but every time they do, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm sure they snuck a stuntman in there for some of it, but man, D'Onofrio is so good. Daredevil wins this round, but Kingpin makes a great observation. Like, what are you gonna do? What? You can't arrest me. You won't kill me. Rock meet hard place. It's a good point. Matt really doesn't have an answer. So he just kind of fucks off. Though with the way things are falling apart for Kingpin right now, it looks like Matt might be able to get him arrested soon. So that could end up just resolving itself. I hope not. But yeah, that would make things just way too easy, but we'll see. People are gathering outside City Hall to protest the task force, resist, rebel, all that stuff. This part I don't get. Bullseye, the vigilante, one of these people the Kingpin's been demonizing, kills a bunch of task force guys, kills Vanessa, the mayor's wife. So in response, the people of the city, mayor. I mean, I guess the point is that the citizens of New York see Kingpin as the instigator of all this insanity, but that wasn't conveyed very well. Hell, after last week, I was expecting the exact opposite to happen. I thought Kingpin's going to use Vanessa's murder to create all this sympathy for Daredevil and all these other vigilantes as public enemy number one, and support for the task force, support for the mayor would go up. Instead, his whole plan isn't just falling apart. It's falling apart so quickly that I feel like I missed something. It almost feels like there's a missing chapter here. Anyway, Karen and Angela show up. Really, Karen? This is really the place you want to be right now? Okay. All right. They use this projector thing to play the testimonies of the prisoners they freed from Red Hook, and they say what really happened, that Daredevil saved them. Okay, thank you. Also, Kingpin decided to keep the weapons in Red Hook instead of shipping them to wherever as per the agreement with Matthew Lillard's boss. So he's going over Kingpin's head and talking to the governor right now. So it really does seem like all the walls are closing in on Kingpin here. It could be only a matter of days or even a matter of hours before he gets removed from office or the law comes for him, or both. But I don't know. Something about this just seems very clumsy. Or too easy, maybe? Like, the plot is jumping through too many hoops to get Kingpin taken down when it should have happened organically. Does that make sense? It's as if this is happening not because of anything Matt did, really, but because the writers just got tired of Kingpin being the mayor, so they just wanted to wrap that up and move on without a lot of setup. You know? Like, I don't know how the story in the previous 5 episodes got us to this. Maybe it would be different if this climax had been done differently. No matter how I look at it, the crowd turning against Kingpin like this, when the story seemed to be it seemed to be telegraphing him gaining more public support after what happened with Bullseye, something about that just feels wrong. There's some kind of monkey wrench in the gears here, and it's really bugging me right now. Like, I don't know what to. Things are going from bad to worse. The crowd is really angry, really fired up. The task force are making it worse. Karen loses her disguise in the chaos. So when Angela's friend gets injured and Karen's trying to help him, she gets discovered right there on the street by the task force. And that's where it ends. Looks like Karen will be Kingpin's prisoner next week. And after Vanessa was murdered, and knowing how vindictive Kingpin can be, I would be very, very nervous about Karen running afoul of a car door if we hadn't already seen pictures of Deborah Ann Wall on set filming season 3. They really need to clamp down on those. They are spoiling a ton of stuff. That's a really good cliffhanger. But at the same time, Karen, what the fuck? What was she thinking even showing up at this place? With all the task force goons right there. Really? Is that where you want to be? I mean, there's taking a calculated risk, and then there's just being crazy. Karen should have had more sense than that. Again, it's as if the plot is working a little too hard to force the characters and the plot into certain situations, and some things about this just don't feel earned. That was episode 6 of season 2. Definitely some big high points here. Some really excellent scenes and moments. But the way all the different plot elements are coming together feels clunky to me. Like, I see what the full jigsaw is supposed to look like, but some of the pieces aren't fitting together the way they should. And that's my thoughts on that one. Okay. Jenny Norwood 6686. I called you my spirit animal years ago during your Batwoman days. Very flattering, thank you. Still applies. I appreciate your in-depth recaps throughout health issues and crazy plot holes. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it has gotten more difficult. I won't lie about that. I had a couple, health-related things that have made shooting videos more difficult. I've mentioned that a couple times. On here and in the community tab. You can probably tell. Had some like sinus-related issues and salivation and headaches and stuff. It's just speaking properly becomes a little bit more difficult. Also, I've got these Invisalign things in my teeth. So it's hard to speak properly when your teeth are being shifted into a new position. It's really annoying. So recording videos does take a lot more effort and work now than it did before. But we get through it somehow. We do what we have to do. What did you guys think of this episode? And we knew Fisk was going to kill the doctor. Yeah, probably. It was kind of funny to see him like bear hug the guy to death right there in the hospital room. Like, how does he, like, does he expect that people won't find out about that? Okay, Buck walks into the room and closes the door, but I mean, how are they going to cover that up? I don't know, maybe there's a body bag in the room they can smuggle the doctor out in. The video is skipping again. It says here my stream health is good. I recommend try refreshing the page. Stream health seems fine on my end. All right, there's some people talking about the spoiler with Heather, so I'm not going to address that for people who don't want to be spoiled here. Jessica Jones feels calmer and more mature here. I like it. Yeah. I mean, Jessica being really self-destructive and like antisocial and hating everyone and stuff. That's fun for a while, but you can't stay there. And I like that she's in a better place emotionally now. I like Jessica and Matt getting along. Working together. That was a fun sequence. Jessica Jones' powers nerfed, thanks Disney. Dude, her powers were nerfed in the Netflix series. They were pulling that shit all the time in the Netflix show. And it's no different here. At least this time they gave a reason for it. So there could be a story there. Because she's actually using her super strength to do stuff. Netflix show didn't really do that. See, the law already came for Kingpin twice, so it makes me wonder what's going to make this time any different. Unless he goes to the raft or a secret underground prison, I don't see it being different. Well, even if the law does come for him, it doesn't mean he's going to get arrested. He could just go on the run. Go underground. You know, resume his criminal activities. I mean, just because he can't pretend to be legitimate anymore, presumably, you know, doesn't mean he's going to be, you know, behind bars. He can just be very open about being a criminal now. That'd be my guess. Once the orthodontic treatment is over, you'll be glad you went through it. Believe me, patience and best wishes from a previous fellow sufferer. I'm glad I went through it. Because my teeth hurt all the time before I started this. Because you know, I had braces years ago. Had them twice actually, because the first time didn't take. Afterward, they put like a retainer, and at some point that came out. So I didn't get it put back in because it just felt nice having it out for a change. And I waited too long, and I guess my teeth started shifting again. I guess they were kind of like curving inward and squeezing together. Hurt a lot. So finally, I was like, I gotta get this taken care of. So went to the orthodontist. Started Invisalign. It was expensive, but yeah, my teeth don't hurt anymore. Kind of hard to talk now, but hopefully it's worth it. Yeah, my back bottom teeth are straight now, which is nice. Who is Jessica's baby's father? Though, who do you think? Probably the same guy who's the father of her daughter in the comics. I hope Trish Walker returns, is still played by Rachel Hunter, and isn't character assassinated anymore. Hellcat is cool, and they did her so dirty. I kind of liked her story, actually. I mean, they took it in a different direction in the Netflix show. It was kind of funny seeing the reaction to that, though, back then, because people were saying, "Oh, they ruined her story. They ruined her story, or they got her so wrong." And I'm like, have you been watching the show? This is obviously what they were building up to since season 1 with her. It was very obviously a slow burn heel turn. And that was one of the things I liked about the Netflix show, is what they did with her. I mean, yeah, they took her in a different direction from the comics. I mean, you can give her a redemption arc later, but Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that, but I actually did kind of like the way they did that. He was like the one person that Jessica was closest with and could rely on, and then that whole thing falls apart too. Jessica comes out of it at the end, but her sister was destroyed by it. Yeah, I actually like that. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, I forgot her name too. Yeah. Off-topic question: have you seen the Street Fighter 2026 trailer made by Capcom? You mean the movie? Yeah, I've seen it. I think it could even stupid. Possibly both. Possibly both. I do hope we at least have a Marvel special presentation for Jessica, Luke, and Danny. Well, I mean, it's all but confirmed that they're all going to be back in season 3 of Born Again. Beyond that, I would be very surprised if they weren't at least talking about a Jessica Jones series. I don't see why they wouldn't. Um, I think there's a desire for more. Kristen Ritter obviously loves the character. I'm sure she would do it in a heartbeat. Seems like they're doing like a mini Defenders reunion in the show anyway, so they've got a good launching pad for it. I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Let's see what we got. Two more episodes left. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to wrap this up in 2 episodes. I mean, a week ago I would have wondered how they can do that with the 2 episodes left, but with the way everything is just falling apart so quickly, it's like, okay, I guess I can see it now. Of course, the plot has to jump through a lot of hoops to make that happen. Always felt weird how Marvel opted to spend 200 to 250 million on these super expensive shows like Moon Knight and She-Hulk when the Netflix shows are cheaper to make. Well, I mean, some characters are less expensive to feature than others. I mean, She-Hulk by its nature, just because of like the effects budget, was going to be an expensive show. Whereas Daredevil is going to be relatively cheap by comparison. Daredevil, I mean, how much is it really going to cost to like stage a hallway fight? It's just a fight scene with a bunch of dudes. There's no real visual effects involved. Minimal effects, anyway. Street level characters are just going to be cheaper. And frankly, Moon Knight should be in that category, but they went in a weird direction with the Moon Knight show. I mean, I ended up liking the Moon Knight show, but man, they did some weird stuff with that one. So I think what happened was that Kingpin was cracking down hard on the city after Vanessa's death, and the combination of that and BB broadcasting telling people that Daredevil is saving them is why they're all wearing the Daredevil mask. Yeah, I guess. It just I don't think it was conveyed well. Um, something that could have improved that is, we saw in the BB report segments that people were kind of buying into the Kingpin's propaganda, saying, "Oh, everything's great now, and it's all because of Mayor Fisk and blah blah blah." Then we cut away to the Kingpin impersonation stuff where he tells what's really going on. I think we needed to see people like reaction footage of that stuff because we're only seeing one side of it. Maybe doing like the BB impersonating Kingpin and telling the truth, and maybe then do people reacting to that and showing the other side how people believe that something like dark and fishy is going on with the mayor, and maybe we shouldn't trust this, and the task force are just a bunch of thugs, and just your show the argument, I think something they didn't do a good job conveying all the information, I think, is the problem. See, Finn Jones was more like Danny Rand in one episode of Luke Cage than in two seasons of his own show and The Defenders. He has it in him to be a good Danny Rand, but the showrunner failed him. Oh yeah. Yeah, the showrunner sucked. They had a different showrunner in season 2 of the Iron Fist show. I think that season 2 was better than season 1, but Finn Jones got a raw deal. That's why I've been saying, like, I'm looking forward to seeing him return, because Finn Jones deserves a chance to redeem himself. He didn't have good material to work with. He didn't have much time at all to train for the role, and I think he really just got dealt a bad hand. Give the guy a chance. Give him more time to train. Give him better writing. I think he could be a good Iron Fist, maybe, or at least better than the one we got. Give the man a chance. And if it still doesn't turn out well, then, fine. But, I mean, the guy deserves a shot at redemption. I don't believe we're done killing characters yet. Either Buck, BB, McDuffie, Karen, or Daniel are going to get offed in the last season. The last episode. Possibly. Yeah. I don't think... I think BB is probably safe. Not Karen, because we know Deborah Ann Wall is shooting season 3 right now. So she's safe. Buck could get killed, because they've connected him to Heather. And Heather is definitely going down going in a darker direction. So... Buck could be a casualty of that. I actually like Buck now. That character has that character is stuck with me. So I'd like to see him stick around. I think the actor's got some charisma. I think he fits in the show as like the new Wesley. So I like Buck. All right, Stephen Kahn 8587. Thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on Buck and the actor playing him? I think he's a highlight. Yeah, definitely. Damn it, you just answered. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know much about the character yet. We kind of saw where he came from in the flashbacks. I think it was that was that. The actor's good. I think he's like deceptively competent. I don't know if that's the right word, but he's dangerous. That's why I was disappointed when he didn't stick around at the fight when Bullseye showed up. I thought, you know what, if Bullseye fought Buck Cashman, I think that could be pretty cool. I think he could actually give Bullseye a pretty decent pretty decent matchup. Not saying he'd win. He wouldn't win, but I think he could come out of that looking okay. Karen in season 3 could be flashbacks if she dies. Yeah, potentially. I don't think so though. My guess is Karen sticks around. I don't want her to die. I selfishly want Karen to stay alive just because I really like her and Matt together. Plus, Deborah Ann Wall's been a TV crush of mine for a long time, since the True Blood days. I really want her to stick around. I think Heather's new hobby, quote unquote, is going to be a coping mechanism for her trauma, and they can do a lot of interesting things with this plotline. Potentially. I mean, I'll say again, I don't know how they get from A to B on that one. I mean, and she's a therapist too. I mean, she should understand that she should probably be talking to somebody about this. I mean, can mental health professionals not understand when they themselves are having a breakdown? Also, I'm not sure how PTSD causes something like this. She had like a near-death experience, a traumatic event. What she's doing in the those season 3 photos from set. I hope they explore that well. That should be that journey should be really interesting. I don't know. I'm not connecting the dots yet. I think it could be really cool if they get it to make sense. I'm just not seeing it make sense yet. Buck is deceptively charming. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's a charismatic actor. I like Buck a lot. I hope he sticks around. Maybe Heather will snap when she learns that Matt is with Karen. I don't think so. I think she's going down that road already. Plus, I think she's emotionally divorced herself from Matt. She had that scene with the hell is the other lady's name? Kirsten. She had that scene with Kirsten. She said, "Oh, Matt lied to me about a lot of things." So, I mean, I don't think she has any lingering attachments to Matt. I think she's probably resentful about the way it ended, with Matt not being honest about certain things and then just disappearing. But finding out that Matt is with Karen, I don't think that would do it. I think she's already going in that direction. Finding out that Matt is Daredevil could push Heather over the edge. That could be a contributing factor. Yeah, that could do it. I mean, something about this vigilante business has really just like flipped a switch in Heather's brain. I don't know, maybe she was just mentally unstable to begin with. I mean, if things were a little different and the character was named something else, I mean, I would think, I mean, this could be like this could actually kind of work as like the origin of Typhoid Mary, the Iron Fist show, so that's not happening. But if that hadn't happened, I mean, I could kind of see it working for Heather. I mean, if she wasn't named Heather, I mean, if she was named Mary and they were doing this story, it was like, are they setting up Typhoid Mary here? Because it kind of seems like it, because she's deteriorating mentally at a very quick pace. So something's going on there. So they're kind of taking that route. They're just doing it with somebody else. I reckon an episode showing Heather's backstory could help make sense of her actions. Yeah, definitely. I remember the Netflix show did a bottle episode where they explored Bullseye's backstory. It was one of the best character studies I'd seen in a while, actually. I mean, if they could do something like that for Heather and get her to make sense, I'd be on board with that. Mm, Spider Noir excitement levels, if any. Uh, I think there's a news trailer for Spider Noir, isn't there? Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm actually weirdly interested in Spider Noir. I mean, it sounded like a really okay. When I first heard about it, I thought it just seemed like such a random project to do. I mean, Nicolas Cage being in it, that gets my attention. Um, it still seems like kind of an inexplicable project. I'm interested. It could be an entertaining as like a one-off type of thing. If nothing else, Nick Cage will make it interesting to watch. I haven't seen the new. I should. I'm not rooting against it. I know a lot of the stuff that Sony has done with all these Spider-Verse projects has been so stupid, and most of them have been just absolutely terrible. I'm kind of rooting for Spider Noir to be a fun watch, though. Let's see, I got here really late. Thanks for doing these. Yeah, you're welcome. Uh, I would have. I wanted to give a little bit more notice, but I was working on the Michael Jackson video, and I was kind of behind on that one, so I was doing a rush job, and I didn't know when I'd get it done. I wanted to get it up on Saturday morning, so I was working late. I was editing. Then I was like, okay, it's 3 a.m. Should I keep doing this and just destroy my body clock again, or should I get some sleep and wake up early and try to finish it in the morning? So I went to bed and I tried to get up. I set my alarm for early, and then I just didn't get up. So I slept in, and then I worked on it Saturday, posted it Saturday evening. So it was a little bit late. Didn't get around to setting up to scheduling the live stream until after that. I'm sorry. I wanted to do it earlier. Just didn't work out. See, the justice the writers have done for Bullseye this season has been amazing. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's been a big highlight. I am not sure how I feel about. I mean, it seems like they're setting up like not a redemption arc for Bullseye, but like turning him into like a more morally gray anti-hero than a straight up villain. I mean, I like Bullseye as a villain in the comics. But I mean, Wilson Bethel has been so good, like portraying this new direction for Bullseye. They've kind of gotten me on board with it, and I don't think Bullseye will ever be a straight up hero. No, that is off the table. Going the route of like under certain circumstances, he can be like a quasi ally as long as they hate the same people. But even in that situation, you gotta watch him because the guy's an unstable nutbag and he's just gonna kill everyone in sight. but it does make him a really interesting presence. Again, Wilson Bethel is just crushing it so far. So I'm really enjoying the Bullseye stuff. Bullseye's more of an anti-villain. That's a good term for it, yeah. That's more accurate. It's really incredible how much this season's writing team managed to save last season's. Yeah. You know, I enjoyed Born Again season 1 probably more than most. It did have problems. I'm not denying that, but that's because they had to like rejigger the whole production and shut it down and reboot the whole thing with a different team. So I mean, I understood season 1 being kind of wonky in some areas. I ended up enjoying it for the most part. Season 2 has felt more cohesive because all the production problems have been ironed out now. Still got some issues. They have made a lot of improvements though. Sorry I'm late. What did you think of the episode? I liked it. I thought it had a lot of good points. There were some things that that kind of dragged it down for me, and some things that didn't necessarily make sense. Showing up at City Hall and getting pissed off at the mayor right after his wife was killed. It's like those dots didn't necessarily connect for me. There was some necessary information that wasn't really conveyed properly. Yeah, I'm not going to reiterate the whole thing. I just did the review. But you can go back and rewatch the stream when it gets uploaded to the live streaming channel. Again, link right down there in the description box. It'll go up on that channel in the next day or two. Saw part of an interview where Wilson Bethel did, where he said he was afraid he got recast. The guy genuinely loves playing Bullseye, and it's great seeing him do well. I hope he pops up on the big screen at some point. Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen those interviews too. Like he really does seem to like just love being a part of the show. It's really endearing. I think he was asked about favorite action scenes, and he says, "Oh, the diner scene that Bullseye, where Bullseye killed all the task force." Seems like a really cool guy. Yeah, to join the Thunderbolts. I don't think that'll happen because that would make too much sense. Be too comics accurate. I think Bullseye has been has been on like one Thunderbolts roster. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the was that Thunderbolts? Shit. Yeah, I think that was during like the Dark Reign era when Norman Osborn was like running the government in the comics. I think Bullseye was on that Thunderbolts team. Yeah, that was the Warren Ellis run, I believe. Yeah, but Bullseye has been in the Thunderbolts before. Except they changed it in the movies. Now it's not really a gang of criminals come together. It's just a bunch of they tried to turn it into like make them like the new version of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like a bunch of wacky underdog misfit characters come together instead of just straight up villains. That would be cool if they could like find a way to use Bullseye more in like the broader MCU. And he's making a great case for it now. He really is. Yeah. I didn't read that run. Do you have your liners in now? No, I took them out. Yeah, can't talk great with the men, but you can take them out when you eat and stuff. Gotta have them in for like 22 hours a day. But you can take them out if you have like an event or something. But there's still those like the sticky things that they put on your teeth. Yeah, those stay on. So I think I got like, how long has it been? I don't know. I gotta do it for 18 months. I'm with it by now. Let's see. You think the superhero reunion roster is filled up with Jessica, Luke, and Danny, or do you think we're getting more Disney Plus heroes for season 3 big fight like in She-Hulk? I don't think we'll be getting She-Hulk. No, I think She-Hulk was just cost prohibitive. It's too expensive, probably too much post-production. I think one of the benefits of doing the street level shows is that they don't cost that much compared to something like She-Hulk or I don't know, WandaVision or whatever. I think we could see damn it, the name fell out of my head there. Jessica Henwick's character from Iron Fist. I think she could show up again. God damn it. Why can't I remember? Colleen Wing. God damn it. Why did that name just escape me for a second? I think Colleen Wing could show up. That would make sense. With what she was up to the last time we saw her. Possibly Misty Knight. But She-Hulk, no. I think it'll just be the street level characters. Yeah, Colleen Wing. You think I would have remembered that one? She was the best part of that show. That's weird. Bomb Blast 2000. Yeah. Bullseye. He was playing Hawkeye in Dark Avengers. There was a Thunderbolts run. I think it was Thunderbolts where he was on the roster. It was. I think Moonstone was on the roster. Speedball was there when he was doing the penance gimmick. Also, Matt Gargan's Venom was on that one. Damn it, I forget the other ones. That was a fun comics run though. Now I'm wondering if that was actually Thunderbolts. I'm pretty sure it was. But, yeah, let's see. It was Thunderbolts. Yeah, Norman Osborn was leading. Yeah. Okay. Great art in that book too. I think that was Mike Deodato. Yeah. I liked that book. Yeah, I know we're talking about deaths, but I don't think I've heard Bullseye's name come up in characters that could die. No, wait, no, they're not. They're not killing Bullseye. There's Wilson Bethel is too good as the character, and there's way too many things they can do with the character. They've obviously got plans for him. Now Bullseye's not going anywhere. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having trouble talking tonight. Anybody else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Because man, we're at the end. We're at the bottom of the stream here. Social media to see if there's anything else going on. You watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters? I'm not. That's Apple Plus, right? Apple TV Plus. Yeah, that's a streaming service I don't have. Also, I'm not loving the direction those movies have gone in. Now I think they're all just Godzilla Kong team up movies. Seem like they're getting progressively stupider as they go along. Just not a fan. I would like to get Apple TV Plus at some point, though. That's the one Severance is on, right? I keep hearing about Severance. I'd like to check that out. You're looking forward to Godzilla Minus Zero. Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. The title's confusing, though. Wouldn't Godzilla Minus Zero just be Godzilla? I mean, the first one was so good. I mean, if you bring back that writer director, you give him more money to work with. Oh. And it looks like they're bringing back the same characters too. So yeah, I'm excited. That's the Godzilla movie I want to see. I mean, I can take or leave all the Monarch stuff. And Godzilla and Kong, the Godzilla Kong movies have just kind of devolved into a big slugfest. And it's not really how I like my Godzilla. I like Godzilla with a bit of an edge. So that's the Godzilla project I'm in the mood for. Just here to show support. I don't care about Daredevil or Marvel, but I know you actually care about this stuff, so I enjoy your takes. Oh, thank you. Damn it. All right. So it looks like there aren't. Let's say we don't have that much more to talk about here. Seems like a good stopping place. If you showed up late, there was a little bit of a delay getting the last two streams up on the live streaming channel because YouTube wouldn't let me download them for whatever reason. Finally got that resolved. So the episodes 4 and 5 live streams have been uploaded. They're on there right now. This one should be uploaded to the live streaming channel in the next day or two. It'll be set to private as soon as we're done here. I can't have them up on this channel because, live streams don't get a lot of traction, so we kind of have to set them to private, put them up somewhere else. So that's why we do that. Live streaming channel, you can link to that in the description box down below, or just do a YouTube search for Thrias Unlimited live streams. It should be the first one that comes up. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. If I can just get the right page here. Jenny Norwood and Stephen Kahn, thank you for the super chats very much. Thank you to everybody else who tuned in tonight. I think the next time we do this will be on Sunday night again, unless something changes. Are there any new movies premiering this week? I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out. So thanks for talking to me. I guess I'll see you next week for season 2, episode 7. Only 2 more episodes this season. Guess then we get the Punisher one-shot special right after that. And then X-Men 97 begins in I think June. Or premieres in June. We still don't have a premiere date for the actual series. So, some interesting stuff coming up. Can't wait to talk about it. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.